It is my honor to address all of you, Dean Liu, faculty, friends, and family, and most especially, the esteemed graduates. I know it's late and you're hot. You'll get your diploma soon. UC Berkeley School of Public Health, class of 26, congratulations. Public health is not a luxury. It is challenging to imagine an everyday activity that's not better and safer because of public health. From the moment we wake up and brush our teeth with clean water to the enjoyment of a bowl of cereal with pasteurized milk, public health is there for us. Who here could imagine a world where we once again see physicians advertising cigarettes or experience repetitive exposure to secondhand smoke? I know that I drive with more confidence knowing that I have on a seatbelt, and the other drivers on the road know not to drive drunk. This daily confidence in our safety is a direct result of public health. Public health is not a luxury. As you just heard, I began my medical training in San Francisco right when AIDS hit San Francisco. HIV caused destruction of the immune system. This deadly infection had an outsized impact on gay men. Prejudice kept the pace of needed progress too slow. I remember President Reagan wouldn't say the word AIDS, but activism led to action. Public health, along with American generosity, enabled one of the most consequential public health programs in modern history, and I just got to sit next to the guy who made it happen. Joe O'Neill. PEPFAR was launched with incredible scale and ambition at a time when HIV/AIDS was devastating entire countries, especially in sub-Saharan Africa. That ambition translated to 8 million babies born AIDS-free. And as you just heard, 26 million plus lives saved. Now, no big public health program is perfect, but I would argue that public health at this scale is a beautiful thing. Public health is not a luxury. Creativity in public health means using policy and dialogue to form new partnerships that can challenge business as usual. My personal favorite public health program, Gavi, the Global Vaccine Alliance, put together non-governmental organizations, philanthropy, vaccine manufacturers, and local governments with a singular goal: making sure that where a child is born does not determine whether they have access to life-saving vaccines. Now, if you like business, this unique partnership leveraged pooled demand and long-term financing commitments to get vaccines to the poor. More than 1 billion children have been vaccinated. That's right, that has a B. More than 1 billion children have been vaccinated. And we estimate about 17 million deaths have been averted because of Gavi. The world is safer and the world is more fair because of Gavi. Public health innovation can mean inventing better systems for delivering interventions equitably. Now, as you can tell, I could tell great public health stories all day, but I won't. Even as we sit here today, a small hantavirus outbreak has global health experts scrambling to understand the spread of hanta and interfere with further transmission. Now, I put together my talk too early to start talking about Ebola, but there's Ebola too. An effective public health system gives us confidence to carry out our everyday activities, brushing our teeth, driving on the road, breathing the air. But a public health system that works also provides a rapid response for new health challenges. Whether it's an infectious disease, global warming, or air pollution, a health threat anywhere is a health threat everywhere. Okay, if you guys, you're probably getting worn out here. If you remember one line from me, America cannot be healthy without a continuous, sustained commitment to public health. I'm going to get that tattooed. I'm threatening it. Graduates, you know how important public health is. You don't need me to tell you. That's why you're here. And that's why you, along with your great faculty, have worked so that you acquire the knowledge and skills you need to keep the world safe. I graduated from UC Berkeley School of Public Health nearly 40 years ago. I got that, alum. Here's what I would tell you, and I'm delighted to report that I used the skills I learned at UC Berkeley School of Public Health, studying AIDS and cancer in Uganda, developing medicines in pharma and biotech, leading UCSF as chancellor, and serving as the CEO of the Gates Foundation. These are really good skills, you guys. Yeah, you go. I know many of you are asking the question, how can I use my public health degree from one of the best universities in the world to go into the 2026 job market? Or as my late beloved dad used to say, so you got an MD and an MPH, now you need a JOB. Does that sound familiar? I know it's traditional for commencement speakers to give advice. You've heard a lot of really good advice today, but I want to tweak that tradition just a little bit. Given my background, I thought I'd let you know how I make decisions on who to hire and who to promote, something I hope is helpful, especially in today's job market. So first, imagine this. You're sitting at a table filled with colleagues, and they tell you that they're going to divide into small groups. I don't know about you, but when that's happened to me, I look around and I think, oh, I hope I'm with them. I hope I'm with that person. You immediately know the person you want to work with. Immediately. And here's an idea. Be like that person. Be that person everybody else wants to work with. But ask yourself to start, what makes it so appealing to work with them? And even more importantly, what's it like to work with me? A few thoughts on that. First of all, be technically great. UC Berkeley credentials are worth a great deal. I always light up when someone tells me they have a degree from UC Berkeley. Even better is you backing up those credentials by demonstrating your understanding of inference, statistics, epidemiology, your ability to understand and utilize data, ask the right questions, and contribute to clarity on the best course of action matters most. It sounds obvious to emphasize continuous learning, but it's for real. Keep reading, keep learning, and be generous in mentoring or helping others. That's a great way for you to keep up your own skills. You can't teach it if you don't know it. Being technically great only matters if you can communicate your insights effectively. Work hard at being understood. Secondly, public health is a team sport. Show up with respect for others, offer to help, and show that you know when to lead and when to follow. By the way, the team sport part of public health can be challenging, but it's always fun. Make it a point to figure out what you enjoy about each of the folks you work with and demonstrate respect by actively learning from colleagues. Third and final one, manage yourself. In medicine, we have a saying, when there's an emergency situation, take your own pulse first. Do you get it? Take your own pulse first. I know I can't help others if I'm a mess, and I suspect you feel that way too. Like you, I have a passion for public health. I love the work. In the face of a public health emergency or a struggling community, it's tempting to overwork or overstress. You're all public health experts, so you know the value of sleep, a healthy diet, exercise, and good relationships. Taking care of yourself means you show up with energy and enthusiasm and let you lift up your own spirits and that of others. Now, graduates, as I end, I hope you know by now how much I love public health and how much the world needs all of you. Your excellence, your energy, your commitment, and your values are critical for the future of public health. I want to give you one last challenge. So too frequently in health, we overemphasize individual benefits. For example, we overemphasize individual benefits from a vaccine, and we undervalue community benefits. You're graduating into a world that has glam ups, looks maxing, and influencers. I'm glad you knew what that meant. You know what I mean. In this kind of me environment, I want you guys to challenge that balance, ensuring that public health's emphasis on broader benefits to communities and populations are seen. If we get that balance right, if you get that balance right, that's the best chance for all of us to lead healthy and productive lives. I wish all of you the best for success, no matter where your UC Berkeley degree takes you. I, for one, can't wait to see what you will accomplish. Thank you and congratulations.